Hey, it's 5 with What Up Hollywood, and today we're at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and we're talking with Tequila Mockingbird, a pioneer in Hollywood. She's a musician, songwriter, writer, entrepreneur. I mean, the list is endless. So, let's ask Tequila some questions. But Tequila, I really admire your work ethic. You are just constantly creating stuff. You're one of the busiest people I know, in all seriousness. Other than caffeine, what drives you?
Well, I like to proceed as if my hair is on fire
Okay.
and get a lot of things done because I see a lot of people talk about things they're going to do and I never see those things manifest. So I'm all about making it happen.
I know. That's awesome. That's really good. You've been inspired to me, actually. Tell us about your part in the new Dark Knight Rises film you're in.
That's funny. I live in Gotham City, and I've lived in Gotham City for pretty much 4 Batmans, but I've been in 3 Batmans. Tim Burton cut me out. Schumacher gave me a sort of cameo role playing bass in Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. And in this one, Christopher Nolan has me as part of an angry mob, and I kind of act like I'm in the French Revolution.
That's cool.
Always fun.
Very cool. I've got to ask you, Tequila, who's been your favorite on-screen Batman? What actor have you thought was the best Batman?
You know, I'm not really a. I mean, I don't think they've had a Batman that I would like. I think I'm more like if Batman were James Bond, then Daniel Craig would be my favorite Batman.
Oh yeah? Okay. Fair enough. Now, earlier this year, you started the Punk Museum. What inspired that undertaking?
Well, a number of stars aligned at once, and Darby had asked me before he killed himself if I would keep punk rock alive because he knew that I was the only one in our little social circle who wasn't on like just like massive amounts of drugs and that I had my head together pretty much. So I said,
Right.
of course I said, well, what are you doing, Darby? I know you're up to something. And he said, please, please, please. And then he hugged me and he kissed me and he ran off and then he killed himself.
Wow.
So I did promise I would keep punk rock alive, and I mean, you know, I did all the booking for New Wave Theater in the
I
80s,
remember
and
that.
that's why Darby counted on me to do that, because he knew that if I could be gathering all the
Sure.
young bands in the land and Johnny Appleseeding everything, then I could be counted on to keep this thing going. So what happened was this woman, I talked her into letting me use her art gallery, and then it turned out she was a bit flaky. But the owner of the building liked my idea because his name is Juan Rodriguez, and he formerly worked at K-Rock, and he remembered me from when he was a little kid in the
Wow.
80s. So like he was down, so he gave me the whole building, which is why I have the building.
Very
And
cool.
it's a big, beautiful art space, and also a room for all the bands to play in, and lots of little galleries. And that's the Punk Rock Museum. And I created it.
Cool. So what bands have played at the Punk Rock Museum so far?
Well, I've had Alice Bag and the Bags. I had Deborah Ayala of Romeo Void. I've had the Misfits, which are
Wow.
not the Misfits, the Bitch Fits, which are an all-girl Misfits cover
Oh, wow.
band
The Bitch
with
Fits.
big gazombas.
Nice.
And the Radioactive Chicken Heads have played, and all kinds of fantastic people. We're in San Francisco, and we're opening in London soon.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Now, I've heard some of the songs off your new EP that you've recorded, and Tequila, I think it's the most creative stuff I've heard in a long time. It's really cool. Now, who came up with the idea of playing sitar to like Led Zeppelin and David Bowie songs?
I went to a garden party about 5 years ago at this person named Jane's house. I named her band Dick and Jane, so like they're called Dick and Jane now. And they
Is
had
that
this,
I-N or A-N-D?
and yes,
A-
Nick, yeah, Dick and Jane.
Okay, okay.
See Dick, see Jane, Jick's, you know, like
Okay,
the whole
okay.
like shiza that goes with that.
Right.
Anyway, so I said, call yourselves Dick and Jane. Your names are Dick and Jane. So, so anyway, they're having a good time with their career with that name. And I was at their party for her birthday, and I saw the sitar player. And he and I just immediately clicked because I kind of like boys that look like Hare Krishnas. And you know, like balls, like just like an egg, pretty much, you know, perfect man, all self-contained. And of course, he had been at the Krishna temple, and he was a sitar player, and he'd studied in India. And his name is Chris Rail. So he and I got together and started making this album that's going to be called The Sun Never Sets. And it's all sitars and my favorite English music, like Pretty Vacant by the Sex Pistols, done with all sitars, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Misty Mountain Hop by Zeppelin, just like Wild as the Wind, the Bowie edition,
Yeah.
sort of kind of cross Nina Simone, Bowie, but then Hindu.
Very cool.
I'm working on a Bolan song next, and
Oh,
it's just
nice.
like, you know, sort of my greatest hits, my favorite greatest hits album.
Done with Hindu flair to it.
Ah,
It's very cool.
rock and roll has been very, very good to me.
I heard the Wild as the Wind song, and I thought that was really good. The vocals were excellent. And now I know you have a huge crush, affinity, I don't know what the right word is, for Johnny Rotten of the Sex Pistols, a.k.a. John Lydon.
Yeah, he just called me his favorite stalker, or really the oddest stalker he ever had in Enemy last month, which I thought was very clever because I'm the only stalker I've ever heard of that has guest list passes to every show.
Cool. So what's he up to these days? He's got a new album out?
He
with Pella?
just did a new album. It's called what is it called? This is PIL.
This is PIL.
And Lollipop Opera is on there, and One Drop, and The Room I Am In, and Dreaming, and the Reggie song, which is reggae in England. Oh, look, he's playing some Reggie.
Reggae
All right,
music.
some Reggie music.
Right.
So yeah, that's fantastic. And today, which is I'm not going to say, but today, the 20th, I guess I can tell you, is the day that he starts his tour of Europe. So Public Image's new album, after 20 years, today
Wow.
is the debut of the new album across Europe, and he will be in the United States, starting the tour in the United States in Austin, Texas, November 2nd, and it should be fabulous. The Fun Festival in Austin, Texas, and I'm going there to be on Stench Radio because I do a lot of shows for Stench Radio, which is on the internet. Yeah, stenchradio.com. Stench Radio. They're in Austin, Texas, and all of our friends are in Austin. Actually, Lisa Furs moved there, and Texacala Jones lives there, and a lot of the underground LA punk rock movement moved to Texas. So I'm going to go visit them when Public Image is in town. So that kind of, I don't really want to kill two birds because I'm a bird myself, but I do want to be stoned. So killing two birds with one stone sounds like a good idea.
Now, I also hear you've been singing some jazz numbers with actor, musician Jeff Goldblum. What's up with that, Tequila?
I sing jazz. I'm a jazz singer. I've been singing, originally I was introduced to Jeff and Harry Dean Stanton and Dennis Quaid by Mac Africa, who's a white South African diamond dealer who is a music aficionado who puts on all the shows in town, and she has always gotten me in on the gigs, and she's had me like play with Slash, and she's just like really into my voice, so she's always placing me with these people. So I've been playing with Jeff for like 13 years, and I was singing like a little bit with Harry Dean for 5 years, and I only did a few gigs with Dennis Quaid, but I just thought he was way too full of himself and not my, you know, I think he was really believing that role he did back in the whatevers, in the 80s, you know, like, please, don't call us, we'll call you, okay. But yeah, so like I sing a lot of jazz with those sorts of people. I used to sing a lot with Nina, opening for Nina Hagen. I managed her for a long time. Managed Tiny Tim for a long time. Discovered Tool, discovered Green Jello. Did New Wave Theater, which, you know, X, Blasters, Go-Go's, Black Flag, Circle Jerks, first time I saw these Ramon boys, I was under the table at Music Plus photographing their not matching tennis shoes.
Yeah.
But I love that they wore the same brand in different colors. That was punk rock.
That is punk rock. That was total punk rock. So, well, what's next on the itinerary? What do you see doing for the rest of the summer?
Well, with the Punk Museum, we're doing lots of functions. You can reach us at punkmuseums.com. And we're doing, well, we'll be opening in London after the Olympics.
Wow.
And we're in San Francisco. We just had an opening there like 2 weeks ago. And we're here in LA having a party tomorrow. And I'm open Tuesday through Saturday from noon till 6 and by appointment only for special clients. If you are special, you can give me a call.
Well, thank you, Tequila. I really appreciate you taking some time out from your busy schedule to hang out with me and What Up Hollywood. And good luck with the museum. Good luck with everything else. And we're going to have some of the music from her new EP coming up.